Does not say 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 o'clock, and we'll call our April 14th City Council meeting to order. We'll begin with roll call.
Sarchet?
Here.
Savage?
Here.
Walters?
Here.
Vogel? Here. Otis?
Here. Item number 3, approval of agenda. I'll ask for a motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes.
Item number 4 is public hearing. It's time to close the regular meeting and open the public meeting on the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget. Jenny, when was the notice published?
April 4th?
Have we had any written comments received for or against the proposed budget?
No, sir.
At this time, I'd like to request staff to provide a report.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I am proud to present the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget this evening, which outlines revenue and expenses during our fiscal year, which begins July 1, 2025 and ends on June 30, 2026. I want to take just a moment to thank all of the city staff and the city council on your hard work and your time commitment to the budget. And acknowledged how much of a time commitment this is. So thank you to all that was involved with the budget. So I just want to go over some highlights this evening. The fiscal year 2026 budget is a balanced budget. The total revenue of the 26 budget is $21,362,948. And total expenses is $23,230,311. Of that $23 million budget, the total capital project budget is just shy of $11 million, and the city's operating budget is the remaining $12.25 million. The city's largest operating expense is city salary and benefits, the staff salary and benefits, which equals $4.38 million. So here is a chart of the city expenses for the operating budget. So this just includes the $12.25 million. Just going around the pie chart with the largest percentages. Enterprise expenses account for the highest percentage of 36%. Enterprise expenses account for all water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and garbage and recycling expenses for a total of $4.5 million. The city's public safety expenses is the second highest expense, accounting for 24% of the city's operating budget for a total of $2.9 million. Public safety includes police, fire, building, and civil defense. Debt service is the city's next largest category, and that includes all of the city's debt payments or debt obligations for a total of $1.4 million. Community and economic development accounts for $1.1 million. This accounts for all of the money the city spends for tax increment financing and any development agreements we have. Culture and recreation total is $1 million. This accounts for all parks and rec and the public library expenses. Public works expenses, this is specific to roads and streets, is $800,000, and the general government accounts for $600,000 of the city's operating budget. So the next slide is revenue sources. The city has a number of different revenue sources, which include, in order of largest revenue source, charges for fees and services. This is water, sewer, storm sewer, and garbage recycling fees. Other financing sources, which is mainly borrowed funds for large infrastructure projects. Property taxes, intergovernmental revenues, which is mostly road use tax. Tax increment financing revenue. Other city taxes, which is local option sales and service tax, and use of money and property licenses and permits and miscellaneous round out the city's revenue sources. For fiscal year 2026, the proposed tax levy is $11 per 1,000 assessed, which is unchanged from fiscal year 25. And I just want to point out that Polk City maintains one of the lower city tax levy rates across the Des Moines Metro, really specific to smaller communities. The next slide is all of the metro communities in the Des Moines Metro and where they rank based off of the fiscal year 25 budget, since we haven't had that data available until all the cities approve their budgets for the upcoming fiscal year. Just want to point out that the average tax levy in the Des Moines Metro is $12.29 per 1,000 assessed. The fiscal year 26 budget includes a number of capital projects. I'm going to go through these real briefly. The water tower project is under construction, but that will continue to be constructed through fiscal year 2026. Next year, we do also have our Central Iowa Waterworks buy-in payment of roughly $2 million to join that entity. There are trail projects in next year's budget, specifically the Polk City Junction Trail and the Trailhead project are in the fiscal year 26 budget. Northside Drive intersection alignment and trail project is in the fiscal year 26 budget. The sump pump collector project will also begin this current year and further construction into next fiscal year as well. And then the Northeast 7th Street project is in next year's budget as discussed with the City Council, and the annual 2025-26 street repair project is also in the budget. Just a few highlights for capital equipment, and then I added one study to the slide. So we are purchasing a new police vehicle. We will buy a new fire engine next year, a public works dump truck, and then our 3rd Street corridor study is in the fiscal year 2026 budget. Lastly, the city staff. Right now, we have 31 full-time city employees and approximately 50 part-time positions. That does fluctuate some. Most of our part-time employees are in the fire department. We will be adding 2 new full-time positions to fiscal year 2026. We will be adding 1 full-time parks coordinator and 1 full-time police officer. This does align with the city's staffing plan, which is available online, and these staff additions will not cause an increase to the city's tax levy. Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. Council, questions for Chelsea? All right then, moving on, anyone present who wishes to be heard for or against the proposed budget? See none. I need a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call.
Vogel. Yes. Otis.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Moving on then to 4A1, Resolution 2025-31, adopting the FY 2026 budget. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
And roll call.
Walters.
Yes.
Vogel. Yes. Otis.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 5 then, public comments. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those that are a public hearing. Jenny, has anyone filled out a card?
No, sir.
Is there anyone here who wants to speak who hasn't filled out a card? Seeing no hands, we will move on to item number 6, consent items, and I'll ask for a motion and a second, please.
Before the motion, could we pull item H, please?
H. So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items except for item H, which we're going to pull. Can I
I
have
don't
that?
have a motion, but I will, if there's no other comments, I will make that motion now.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? And we'll have a roll call.
Otis.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Vogel. Yes.
So moving on to item H then, Resolution 2025-33, amending the city fee schedule.
Yeah, so I want to have maybe a quick discussion here, I don't know, but a couple things on the increases, and Chelsea had brought this up, and I think you were going to clarify maybe the $500 for special city council meetings, add some flexibility there based on criteria. Is it something that is a product of procrastination or bad timing? And I know that makes it a little bit problematic to go in a little further, but what was the best way to proceed here? Go ahead and approve with the option to only allocate actual costs for these special meetings?
I would propose that you keep the fee schedule as is, but that city staff could add something to the fee schedule that said we would only bill for actual costs.
Okay.
And my thought process behind that is, I think that, you know, if we have a special planning and zoning meeting or a special city council meeting, that typically involves something that the city attorney or city engineer needs to review, possibly them attend a meeting. So that fee really is in alignment with those additional costs we might accrue. There are a few circumstances for special city council meetings that may not be as detailed as others, but one that has come to my mind is maybe a liquor license approval.
Yeah.
I don't think it would cost $500, but we could just bill for actual cost. It might be half of that or $300, and I would be okay with that. But I think that for the purpose of showing what the fee would be, we'd leave it as is, but we can add something to the schedule that says that.
Yeah.
Does that work?
It does, and I think it aligns to the spirit of maybe a little bit of flexibility here, while generally speaking, pushing people into the schedule that we have and the meetings that, so, you know, the public can be aware and all those things. And then when there's an instance, diving in, if it's, like I said, bad timing or, well, I want it now, those are two very different reasons. So I think that works for me. I don't know if anybody else.
Council, start with you, Nick.
That sounds great to me. I just have a follow-up question. Are we gonna need to bring this back for the amended language to add that in, or can we just make a note of it and as part of the resolution and it goes into?
You can make the motion to add the change, and then we will make that change and we can send it out after. So no need to bring it back.
Excellent.
Mandy,
Yep, I agree with moving forward.
Jeff Walters,
No comments. It's fine.
Jeff Savage.
Agree with it.
Anything else, Rob?
Nope, I'll make a motion to approve item H with the added actual cost language referenced by Chelsea.
Second.
And roll call.
Vogel? Yes. Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Moving on to item 7, business items. A, resolution 2025-43 declaring Polk City Canine Eudorus and certain of his accessories as surplus property and authorizing the sale thereof to handler officer Matt Eicher. Chief, you had something?
You. Canine Eudorus here was purchased by the city back in 2017. Excuse me, from Canine Tactical out of Sheraton, Iowa. He's been under the care of Officer Matt Eicher here since that purchase. The canine program has been very successful, but it's come time to retirement for Canine Eudorus. The resolution in front of you is a proposal and purchase agreement to transfer ownership of Eudorus to Matt Eicher for the purchase price of $1. Any questions?
A motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, just a comment to Matt, Officer Eicher. I think it's wonderful that Eudorus is going to find a great home. Continue to have a great home, I guess. So.
Yeah, I just read, nobody's saying that Officer Eicher is surplus in property. Right? no, I had to make that joke, but I agree with the mayor. I think both Officer Iker and Eudora are a testament to our city, and proud to have both of you here, and Eudora in a retired capacity. So very happy how all this worked out. Any opportunities? I know your affinity for the small community and supporting the town in that capacity. And so this opportunity to become a K-9 officer and everything that it led to, and just making us safer, which is a big part of it. But the nice to haves were really warm and fuzzy around here too. So I think great situation all around, and kudos to your handling of it and Eudoris's work.
I echo that.
Chief, sorry.
Right, everybody, but no, this was something different for the city here, and you excelled. You know, obviously, we know what you've done here in the community, but gone out and proven yourself among others. Like, this has been a great program, but I love you, Doris, looking like a pet right now. He loves you, and it's clear that you guys have such a special bond, and I'm really happy for everybody involved, for the success of the program and the continued relationship with your family.
Want to thank both of you for all of your work over this last 8 years,
7, yeah.
7 years. You both have been a real asset to the community, and I think we're going to miss the program.
Can I say a couple things?
Yeah.
So, first of all, I want to just thank you guys for allowing me to be here tonight. I want to thank my wife. Sorry if I get emotional, but as you guys know, I'm super passionate about this program, our department, and the city. But you think about this, up until today, we've been together almost 2,800 days. 7 years, almost 7 years. He's been a part of our family. So my wife has been awesome. So has my kids, you know, from the time in 2018. Gosh, seems like so long ago that we brought him home, and just teaching our kids kind of the respect and how to handle the dog. But, you know, the community as well. I mean, in 2 years, raised almost $80,000 for our K-9 program. And essentially it's been, other than, you know, the city sending me to training and things like that, some overtime here and there, it's really been minimal cost to the city. So I want to thank the community for that. One thing I do want to point out is over the last year, 8 months or so, Lieutenant Oswagon, you know, pulled me in his office, and we've had several conversations about what retirement looks like. And one of the things he said to me, which really resonated, is, you know, everything has an expiration. And so obviously our K-9 program is part of that. But an anomaly for me, even being in the K-9 world, knowing a ton of K-9 handlers, is their bosses just set a date and the handler has to deal with it, right? That hasn't been the case here. So I want to thank Lieutenant Oswagon, Chief Sipker. They've collaborated with me over the last about 8 months, and we'll work through this together on what does it look like for retirement for Eudora. So that's just the leadership that we have within our police department, getting their officers involved in things like that, because it is a big thing. You know, we have been together 7 years, so it is a big thing to look at what it does to retire. But he allowed us to go out on our own terms. We're excited to kind of facilitate him kind of becoming more of a pet. We have some things planned coming up as far as protection and stuff of our property and, you know, and things like that to ensure the liability on our end. But yeah, we're excited. So thank you guys very much for the support. It wouldn't have happened without the council, Chelsea, as well, and that support. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so are you finished, Chief?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So we need a motion and a second on item A.
You got it.
I have one.
Have those.
We need a roll call then.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel.
So we'll move on to item B then, second reading of ordinance 2025-200, amending chapter 100, sewer connection fees to add the Southeast Sanitary Sewer District, the North Sanitary Sewer District, the Northeast Sanitary Sewer District, and Big Creek Valley Sanitary Sewer District. We need a motion and a second on that.
So moved.
Second.
And we'll move on to roll call,
Just
unless we have a
question.
comment.
So we had a couple of people, I think, come last time. Did we make connection on their okay.
Did we, I was gonna ask Travis, made connection with a few people that came?
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
the contact information. We're finalizing these calculations, but they'll know before the third reading for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Item C, Snyder and Associates invoice in the amount of $32,469.25 for February 2025 engineering services. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Savage,
Yes.
Walters,
Abstain.
Vogel,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Moving on to item 8, which is a mayor proclamation for Arbor Day. I, Steve Karsten, Mayor of Polk City, City of Polk City, Iowa, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the city of Polk City. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. So that is that. So we will move on to item number 9, reports and particulars, and we'll begin with staff. Anything from staff? Chelsea, anything from you?
Yes, I have two things. I wanted to recognize and thank Officer Iker and Eudoris for the time commitment that they've given to the community of Polk City. Working for the city is a job. Most of us get to go home at the end of the day. Some of us, don't work your traditional 8-hour day, but being a canine handler is it's a very big time commitment. So just wanted to recognize the amount of time that Officer Iker and Eudoris have put into the program and thank them for their time. The second thing is I wanted to share with the city council that Jason Tran recently obtained a certified Parks and Rec professional certificate. So this is a prestigious designation for professionals in the park and rec industry, and it's the highest national certificate available to Parks and Rec professionals. So to obtain the certificate, individuals must meet specific education and experience qualifications and take a test, which I have heard is very difficult. And I'd share that Jason passed the test on the first time. So please join me in congratulating Jason on his professional achievement.
Anything from the council?
I got a couple things, and one of them involves Jason, so, here we go. No, but am I getting this right on the numbers? So, within the last month or so, since the Tree City stuff has come up and in a probably inappropriate negative connotation earlier, I did want to cite the certification for the growth award for 32, or can you help me out? I'm gonna screw this up.
Yeah, I apologize. I probably should have come up and given an update. We were recognized as Tree City USA for the 32nd time and as a growth community for the 30th time.
Yeah, so thank you for, and I know we talked about this, but those numbers are very, something that to be proud of. And again, if we're a little bit more stringent on some of those requirements, that may be where it's a positive in my opinion. But Jason picking up the mantle from the Arbor League and handling that to maintain those numbers is great. And then the Arbor League, I think we'll have an update there too, some good progress there. But anyway, just appreciate the work that you do, Jason, on that front. And then another thing, I had a really interesting conversation with a lady through a concerned citizen with the Iowans for tax relief, and just some of I had, I think, previously expressed frustration with their portrayal of how myopic the property tax changes have been and what that has looked like here. But a good dialogue with her and as someone with a doctorate, I think, in statistics, a keen eye for some of the things, and some things can be explained, but I do appreciate those organizations and some of what they provide. So maybe more to come. I don't know if she's going to take a few things back, and I've got some looking up on a few things to do too. So trying to get to a spot where maybe tweak a little bit how things are represented in the full revenue side picture, not just property taxes. So anyway, possibly more to come, but interesting conversation nonetheless.
Anybody else?
I'd like to give a shout out to the library director, Jamie here, who's had a lot of really good programming for the last couple months. I know I had a great time at the family board game night that they had here at City Hall this weekend. A great time. It's the second time they've had that company, the Dealt Hand out, and it was a really great time. So thank you for all the programming you guys have been putting together.
I don't have anything to add, so the next item, I guess, is adjournment. I'll ask for somebody to make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned until April 28th.